Hey Gregory, how you doing? Thank you so much for including this written paragraph describing your rationales and your experience with the assignment so far. This is really fantastic, and I mention to students quite often, it's just such a great practice for students to include a detailed as possible written description with all of your assignments that you submit, not only for this class, but for your other classes as well, even if it's not required. Honestly, Gregory, it really helps us as instructors to take a look at the learning process to see what you're learning. I learn as much about reading. A lot of times I learn just as much about how a student is learning by reading their work as I do by looking at their work. And that's true. So please keep this up as we move through the class. I've got your post up right here, your magazine ad, and this is really an excellent start. I think it's fantastic. I really do. I think it's a really, really good job. Um, Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's start with the image. I think that's a much better image. I think the first one, I mean, in a perfect world, that wouldn't have a logo in it, because right now it almost looks like it could possibly be an ad for Titleist. If you can replace this image with something, I mean, I'm not real sure if that was the original image, but the original image seems like it had some ink on the side that almost looked like it was a bad selection. So it looks like it replaced that, but this one has a logo. If you can find this teed up golf ball without a logo on it, I think that would just be fantastic. Um, so anyways, so the really super interesting thing about the imagery is that both the background and the masked image are the tonal range is beautiful. So you've got some gorgeous shadow areas in conjunction and a nice relationship to the highlight areas as well. So that's really fantastic. Another neat thing is that the light source is matching. So the light source from the background image seems to be coming from right above, as we can see based on these shadows. And then the image, the light source for the golf ball, as we can see by this shadows, also resides from above, as opposed to be like a sunset or something like that. So that's really good consistency there. A fantastic job blurring out that background image, drawing the attention to free golf, which really does a good job connecting the promotion with the masked image, and then bolstering that with reinforcing the client's branding by including this gorgeous beach scene with the palm tree in the background. So that selective focus is beautiful. That this range right here is excellent, where all the attention goes. It's in focus right here, and then soft focus in the back. So that's excellent. Okay, typography looks good. I don't think you need a period here. I really don't. There's no reason to even put just free golf. Yep, free. And then you've got your informational paragraph. That's excellent. Now, one thing I would recommend is this. Well, actually, no. Your relationships here are fantastic. This is good typesetting right here. I think is remove the period, and you're good to go. One thing that you might possibly do is take this whole configuration here, these two paragraphs, and move them down just a little bit, increasing this space, because I'd like to get a little bit more space between the headline and the subhead. When I say a little, I mean just a couple pixels. We'll drop that down a little bit and then bring this down so the bottom of the lower paragraph comes up right about, maybe even aligning right above, so right about here or so. And what that's going to do is the viewer is going to look at the golf ball first, of course, and their eye is going to be brought right over here. So it's going to make a connection between the golf ball and the promotion, a further connection. This is a visual connection. This is going to make more of a kind of a verbal connection. And then finally, we've got an issue with the logo, in that the logo just seems to be kind of randomly floating here on the horizon of the image. I think we can do a more effective job. So there's a couple of things you can do. I think the logical place for the logo is right here. And that's a great exit strategy for a logo, because we typically start in the upper right, read to left to right, top to bottom. So this is typically where the viewer exits the page. So we can reinforce the client's branding by placing the logo right at the exit point of the page. That's going to open up a little bit of an issue. So we're having a little bit of legibility problems with the address here. And I'm wondering, I'm not real sure how you want to rectify that, but that's an issue because that part is not legible. I don't know, you might want to try white type. Another option would be this, is just to take a small purple bar at the bottom of the ad, watch my cursor, like right about where phone is, right down there. Use the amethyst bay purple, all right? Then span the contact information along the bottom of the ad in white so that it's visible, and then you can place the logo right above that. And that'll eliminate this kind of, this is a little visually uncomfortable. The fact is this is floating so high in the composition and that the typography is illegible in some areas. Okay, those are my recommendations. I think you've got a really outstanding start here. Now, one other thing I would recommend is that background image is, it's got a purple hue, specifically in the sky. And I think at this point it would be best to depict extreme reality here. I mean, we all know that the sky isn't purple anywhere in the world. It's not, I mean, of course we can see red, orange skies, blue skies, of course, but never purple. So this is a little unnatural, and it almost feels that way. So my recommendation here is to try to adjust this color to more to a blue and less to a purple. I'm not real sure if this was an original adjustment or if this was part of the original image, but it happens to be along the same hue as the logo. So I'm not sure if that's a coincidence or you adjusted it, but I would recommend bringing that back to a blue sky. Other than that, I think it's really a fantastic one. Page mechanics are outstanding. Hierarchy is really impeccable. I think one of the neat things is that you took a look at the composition and you assembled your type to counterweight the golf ball. The golf ball's got enormous visual weight, so left aligning things over here I think was a good call. All right, great start. Questions, comments, concerns? Let me know. I'll be glad to make any clarifications needed. Just let me know. All right, great start. Thanks so much for sharing.